Hi, this is Ken. Tesla is weak right now, but this might be the most important buying window before its biggest transformation ever. In today's video, I'm going to break down what actually changed this week, and more importantly, how you should think about Tesla right now as an investor. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear framework to decide whether this is a wait market or the early stage of a massive opportunity. Let's get into it. First, we need to face reality. Tesla stock broke below the $370 level this week and briefly traded in the 360s. That matters because structurally, this confirms short-term weakness. If you look at the daily chart, the 20-day, 50-day, and even the 200-day moving averages are all trending down. That's not a strong setup. That's a bearish structure. But here's where I want you to stay calm. This was not panic selling. Volume didn't spike dramatically. There was no capitulation, no emotional flush. What we're seeing is something different. This is not fear. This is repositioning. And that distinction is critical because when markets panic, they overshoot. That's where bottoms are formed. But when markets reposition, they take their time. They adjust expectations. So right now, this is not a bottom confirmation phase. It's a transition phase. And that's why in the short term, the rational stance is simple. Wait. Now, let's move to something much more important. What is Tesla actually trying to become? Because if you only look at the stock chart, you're missing the bigger picture. This week, we saw more signals around a project called Terafab. This is a massive AI chip manufacturing initiative involving Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI, with over $20 billion in projected investment. But the number itself is not the point. The real story is vertical integration. Tesla is trying to control everything: design, manufacturing, packaging, all of it. And this is a huge shift because until now, Tesla has been a customer of companies like Nvidia. But going forward, Tesla may become a competitor. Why would they do this? The answer is simple. AI chips are the bottleneck. Right now, the AI race is not about who has the best algorithm. It's about who has the most compute, and compute is limited by chips. So Tesla is making a very clear decision. If we don't control this layer, we can't win. And this is where things get interesting, because once you understand this, you realize Tesla is no longer just an EV company. It's positioning itself as an AI infrastructure company. That's a completely different valuation framework. Now let's connect this to product strategy. There was a lot of noise this week about potential new vehicles, but the key takeaway is actually what Tesla is not doing. Tesla is not building a minivan. And on the surface, that seems strange. There's clearly demand in that segment. But Tesla is intentionally choosing not to go there. Why? Because priorities have changed. Tesla is no longer optimizing for what sells. It's optimizing for what scales into the future. We're already seeing this in their lineup decisions. Model S and Model X are being deprioritized, and those resources are being redirected to what? To Optimus. And this leads to a very important insight. Tesla may be transitioning from a company that sells cars to a company that sells labor. Let that sink in, because if Optimus works at scale, Tesla is no longer limited by the automotive market. It enters the labor market, and that market is significantly larger. Now, let's talk about the biggest variable that will determine everything: Robotaxi. This is the center of Tesla's entire strategy. If Robotaxi succeeds, Tesla becomes something entirely different: a mobility platform, a recurring revenue machine, a company that doesn't just sell cars but monetizes them continuously. But if it fails, the story changes, because a large part of Tesla's valuation today is based on this AI and autonomy narrative. So right now, Tesla is in a very asymmetric position. The upside is massive, but the risk is real. Now, let's bring it back to near-term data. Looking at Q1 2026 delivery estimates, consensus is around 360,000 vehicles. On the surface, that looks like growth year over year, but that's not the full story. On a quarter-over-quarter basis, we're looking at a decline of around 12 to 13%, and some analysts are even projecting numbers closer to 340,000, which suggests that even the current consensus might be too optimistic. But here's the key point. This is not really about deliveries anymore, because Tesla's valuation framework is changing. In the past, Tesla was judged by one metric, units sold, but going forward, that's not enough. Now the focus is shifting to energy, AI, autonomy, and robotics. And what we're seeing right now is a transition period. EV growth is slowing, but new pillars are emerging, and during transitions, things often look messy. So here's the situation, as clearly as I can put it. In the short term, Tesla is weak. The stock is under pressure. Deliveries are slowing. There's no reason to deny that. But at the same time, Tesla is making some of the most aggressive investments in its history. AI chips, robotics, robotaxi. These are not incremental moves. These are foundational bets. So Tesla, right now, exists in two realities: a weak present and a potentially very strong future. And the real question for you as an investor is this: which one do you prioritize? Do you wait for confirmation, or do you position early before the narrative shifts? Because historically, the biggest returns don't come when everything looks strong. They come during uncertainty, when the future is not yet fully priced in. So maybe the real question isn't whether Tesla is weak right now. It clearly is. The real question is whether this weakness is part of the setup. Let me know what you think. Are you waiting, or are you starting to build a position here? If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to like this video. And if you want daily, high-quality insights on Tesla, AI, and the future of technology, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. And let's keep building our understanding of the future together. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.